Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a revision video of an old video I did about back in December, I'm pretty sure it was. And what that video was about this sword right here. It's a Chinese sword, that's the broad term, but if you want to be specific, this is a Liuyedao, which means willow leaf, willow leaf saber. Now, the maker of this sword, I have no idea who it is, so if you're going to ask that, you're best out of luck, because I don't know. I tried looking it up. I can find no information on this sword. Not even on Cult of Athena, which lists the makers of their sword. Well, generally everywhere, almost everyone lists the makers of whoever sword they're buying or selling from. But yeah, there is no information on who made this sword. You can buy this on Cult of Athena. That's one place where you can buy it. But I bought this in a mall. If I remember correctly, on Cult of Athena is like 130 to 150 bucks. I bought this for 165 bucks. So I kind of overpaid it for, at least compared to the prices of Cult of Athena. Good store, by the way. I never actually bought their stuff because I don't have the means to pay online. But I bought this in the mall, and yeah, this sword. I've had this for about a few years now. I think if I remember correctly, I bought this back in 2018. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2018. But yeah, this sword is of the willow leaf style, as I mentioned before, and the fittings on this sword is of the Yuan Shi style. Now, what is the Yuan Shi style? The Yuan Shi style is the rounded style, which means the fittings are more rounded, less angular. Where the terms originate, the earliest date we can, at least I can find, comes from the Qing dynasty. You know, the last dynasty of China. This sword more originated back in the Ming dynasty, and kept going until the end of the Qing dynasty. So this sword lasted. This style of sword lasted for a while, along with other sword styles like the Liuyedao or the Revamped. The Revamped being a straight back, and the Liuyedao being a mostly straight, slightly curved at the end type of sword. Now, should you buy this sword? I would say no, mainly because there's no information on the buyer. 2, it doesn't come sharp. If you're not using it for test cutting, I would refrain from it, because I don't know about the structural stability of this sword. It's light, at least comparatively, when I first bought it. Because when I first bought it, it was more clunky, more heavy. But that's because the fittings were off. Well, not off, but they were more loose. I'll say that. Like the guard, the disc guard was rattly. The handle was shifted around a lot. The pommel always kept falling off here and there. The guard was also not safe. The top of the guard would always like plop out. The second fitting here would shift about. So I had to do some work and refit the guard, refit the fittings, refit the fitting. Yeah. So I glued down the top bit. I shifted up the middle bit so it wouldn't shift really unless I push down hard to adjust it a bit. I hammered the top bit. I had to dismantle the whole like hilt and stuff to refit it, and it worked. I had to stick some paper in it though to make sure there was enough so it filled out the entire space. Yeah, there was a little bit of a gap, and I had to fill that gap in. And now the hilt doesn't shift. We fixed the pommel cap. Yeah, this pommel cap, and made sure it wouldn't really pop out unless I really tried to. This guard is all fine now. It wouldn't stop the rattling. How does the sword feel? Well, it feels more lighter, more what's the word? More intact compared to when I first bought it. Because when I bought it, it wasn't sharp. At best, this is a dull sword, a very dull sword. It's not blunt, but it's definitely dull. I chopped a little bit into my I chopped and thrust into this cabinet right here for a couple of times some time ago, and it got reasonably in. I punched a few holes into it, but other than that, I would not think this thing would cut things like water bottles and stuff. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. My environment right now would not really help me, and I don't think I would be allowed. No, I would definitely not be allowed to carry something like this outside. No, because I live in like a freaking apartment. Well, it's not a complex, but it's like apartment blocks. There is a false edge. A kind of a false edge, but that part was like a good bit blunt. So, but if you were to like put a bevel on the false edge and make it sharp, yeah, you can use it as a false edge. Now, I am no practitioner of any like Chinese martial arts, so I cannot tell you how to wield this sword, at least in the style that it was meant to be. So, on that regard, you're out of luck there. You're better off finding someone else. But yeah, the sword, after having it for a few years, it's nice to have. It's nice to have an actual, like, reasonably designed Dao. Because my first Dao was one of those fake it was one of those wushu type of wobbly type of swords. And this one's a proper, mostly proper Chinese sword, a Dao type, which a Dao is just a single-edged version, a single-edged sword. The Jian, which is the Chinese one-handed double-edged straight sword. Well, both of them have their two-handed forms, but you get what I mean. Now, this is generally it. The Liuyedao, I have no cutting footage because, like I said, this area wouldn't really serve well for cutting up stuff. And yeah, that's about it. This is the revision video, and I'll see y'all next time. Subscribe if you want, like the video if you want. I'll see you later.